International travel has a conundrum of challenges that must be approached before going wherever you want to go. And each destination, each geographical location, each region has its own set of problems that start with the passport. This is two versions of passports over a period of time. And so with that in mind, a company called Allett has, Allett Wallet actually, out of San Diego, has presented a design for a passport carrier. Now, this is a sample that was sent to me after a representative of Allett had contacted us at Gear Challenge. So this was somewhat of a non-requested test in progress. In other words, we were contacted by them. We didn't reach out to Allett. Didn't even know that they existed, quite frankly. And this is called the Mule Leather Wayfinder. This test in progress, this opening of the package, is going to be relatively blind. I haven't gone through this very much, but just by way of a little bit of background, a typical passport carrier for me has been this Eagle Industries identification pouch that has a handy, well, I don't want to call it a string, but it's also not quite a complete tether, but it has a device to go around your neck with adjustment. It also has some internal adjustments, place for your pen, and of course a couple of pouches for your identification documents and any other necessary documents or paperwork you may want to travel with, money, etc. So that's been my traditional go-to when traveling, and as we can see, a passport fits into this quite easily with a little bit room to spare. It can also go into one of the rear pockets or into one of the internal pockets that makes the passport concealed, at least in public. So a couple of different options with the old Eagle Industries, and this is the original Eagle Industries, not the more recent corporation that has been developed. Now, in reference to this Allett Mule Wayfinder, it came with a pen, a very small micro pen, I guess you could call it, and that's a very nice addition. We'll check that in just a moment. Before we go much further, a word from one of our sponsors. And this, not really a sponsor, but Texas whiskey out of Texas itself. And so might as well get started with, I don't like a lot of ice in mine if I do ice, but in any event, well, that'll help get us primed. Yeah, good things out of Texas, or Tejas as some of us might call it. So getting back to the Mule Wayfinder, this appears to be leather. I believe that it is supposed to be leather. The instructions on the back, says made with 100% premium vegetable tanned leather capacity, plus or minus 7 cards, cash, passport, and travel documents. It's RFID protected, good case in point, to keep cards and identities safe from theft. Handcrafted in San Diego with locally and globally sourced materials. www.mulecarry.com. Put that up there just by way of proper introduction and full disclosure. That's what I just read. Now, I like the fact that it's RFID protected. Here we have a sample card with the logo on. A sample card, and it's a business card. So that's popped off there on the side, and that appears to have a catch for the card. I may be mistaken. Nope, I thought it was a catch to pull the card out, so there's not a catch in there, but by way of a little bit of friction, it does bring your card out. And handcrafted in San Diego, imprinted there. I think it's safe to say we can go ahead and remove the packing strip, if you will. And so that's a nice touch there to get to your, say, credit card, probably credit card, business cards, or other identification documents. There's an angled pocket in the front again for something that you may need to access a little more quickly. And there's a rear pocket as well. You use their card just by way of reaching in. Not quite large enough for a passport, but pretty darn close. And I think that the passport pocket is going to be this one here. So pulling on this, okay, they have that's interesting. They have a sample passport in here. And that does seem to have a catch to it. So by pulling this, the zip, if you will, or the pull tab is from the rear of the travel companion, or what Allett is calling the Wayfinder leather, the mule. So this does actually pull the card up and pushing back. Yeah, so there is a catch in there, whereas I don't think we have a catch on this front tab. Getting that card down in there deep. That's just more like by friction. Yeah, pushing back down doesn't really bring it all the way up. Maybe it does. I'm willing to take the hit on being mistaken. Nope, looks like it's just strictly friction, which is good. That's fine. Friction works in a lot of cases. Now, getting back to the pocket for the passport. It does seem to pull it up by way of a ledge of some kind on the inside. And they have a sample passport here. Doesn't open, or does it? No, they've got it dual bound. And there are instructions on the rear. At the top, hidden passport sleeve with easy access pull tab at the rear of the center. Large slant pocket for boarding passes and other documents. Of course, that's what they've got back here at the rear. And yeah, your boarding passes could slip in there and have easy access. Secure card pocket with easy access pull tab. That's the one at the front that has the friction tab. And exposed slant pocket for emergency or frequently used cards. And again, by way of full disclosure, that's what we just read. And there's also a special pocket for a mini pin. They don't call it a micro pin, they call this a mini pin. So let's get back to their sample passport. Seems a little, okay, so the sample passport is just a bit smaller than an actual passport. Again, for full disclosure, I don't think that that's intended to be misleading, but it is just a bit smaller than a standard passport. So let's check a standard passport on this internal passport pocket, and I'm going to imagine this is RFID protected. So yeah, passport fits in there nice. I wouldn't say that it's extremely concealed. I'm pushing in on this one in an attempt to get it to seat more fully so that you can't see that there's documents there. But it does pull it up, and bingo, it tells you that it's a passport. My passport is here. Let's try this more recent version of the passport, a bit thicker. So on a more recent passport, it is just a bit more stout, of course, than the older versions. But as you can see, it's not really completely concealed. I would not call this a concealed pocket, just by way of being very candid and objective. However, pulling on the tab does expose your passport. Here's my passport, sir, and bing it a bing. You go through all of the steps. I'm a little curious on the interior of this. Let's take a peek, shall we? And so, yeah, there is a, okay, so there's not a ledge, but there's a pull tab affixed to the inside of the pocket, on the face of the pocket, that in essence brings your passport, your documents up into play. Little internal tab. I always like to see what these look like, see what might be in here. And on the inside, okay, good. It says Mule, globally sourced, USA made, RFID protected, www.mulecarry.com. So it doesn't say made in China, which is kind of is nice to hear. Didn't get a hidden surprise of a made in China sticker or tab. So true to form, true to advertising, etc. Probably made in the United States. I do like the method of bringing the passport up to bear, if you will. I as I was pulling on this, I thought perhaps there was a little ledge built in to the inside part of the tab here, but it's actually just fabric that is the same width as the pull tab that brings everything up into place. So it's nice and secure. It's not like it's going to slip beyond that and get pushed further down into the pocket. Although, quite frankly, with an actual passport, And again, here I am pushing on this as far down as I can go, and it's even pushing down on it brings the pull tab into movement. So that's as far as a passport will go. I hesitate to call this a concealed passport pocket at this point. I have to be a little bit deeper. Not quite as big as our Eagle Industries document case or credentials case, but nonetheless, not quite an actual concealed document or a concealed passport pocket. That said, I don't know if this would completely protect the credentials from RFID, and I currently don't have, we're not at liberty with a method to test the RFID protection capacity of this. So we won't go into too much further detail. Again, I kind of like how this brings your card up into place. The card, that is, if this is actual credit card sized, definitely conceals all the way. And let's see, let's use something that I know is credit card sized, which is a press credential. And so the press credential behind their sample is actually correct in size. So credit card going in there, it's definitely going to conceal a credit card all the way down. And maybe that's what the intention is to do, is to protect the credit card from RFID or scanning. Other than that, the last thing would be this mini pen, or what I would call a micro pen. It has a marking on here that is Allett. So we've got it properly identified on the side, and I'm going to hazard a guess that this is a twist open. So yeah, took a couple twists. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't twist quickly open. You have to rotate it a number of times. Let's see, so that seems to be completely retracted. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So about 14 half twists. And wow, started to write right away. So no gap in the pen. Actually, I kind of like the quality of that ink. Let's see, no smear. Well, a little bit of a smear, but then again, I did put several captions on there, or spins. So dries relatively quickly. Yeah, just smeared just a bit, but nothing severe, and I wouldn't really expect a super high quality ink out of this anyhow. No idea how long this would last. I do like the design of the clip, if you will, coming out through the top, and frankly this looks, nope, that's an actual separate piece. I was going to say that it looks as if it's all one piece that's been bent into the clip configuration. But that is a very convenient, out of the way method of having a pen secured inside. Now if you continue unscrewing this, it will unscrew the pen. Well, here we go. And let's toss the Allett packaging off to the side. I'm pretty darn impressed with this. So the ink cartridge, if you will, seems to be secured inside the top end, or the hook end of the pen. And there may be a more complicated method of changing this out for the purposes of changing the cartridge. I don't want to break this or over extend anything, and there may be instructions that I have not yet found. Again, we just opened this up. So, but that's kind of an interesting method of securing that ink cartridge, or the insert with the writing end of that, and it does completely remove. And then putting it all the way back into play, and it does extend with definition, can't be twisted anymore, and then a few turns and twist back, and it's still locked into place, so the threads on the inside are still securing the pen, and it's handy enough to go back into here. I don't know, this didn't even think about trying anything else, and quite frankly, one of a pen that I commonly carry is just far too large for this. However, frankly, you could probably, in a pinch, even a large pen could be hooked in with the pocket clip on the inside of the Mule pocket for the pen itself. So it still could be doable. You can improvise in the field, if you will. This does not come, the pocket does not come with any kind of a lanyard, as we have with the Eagle. That I don't think is in keeping with what is probably the concept behind this, being something very, very small and compact, able to have your documents, a couple of credit cards, maybe a driver's license or a country ID, along with the passport being the primary goal of carrying this, because it is a passport pocket. But I could see it. It would be nice to be able to have some type of a lanyard that could be attached to this, but I think it would end up changing the lines, if you will, of this pocket device, of this carrier, and would probably make it override it and just not make it as something that you can just necessarily toss into your suit jacket, which this will fit. Yeah, it fits perfectly into this pocket, breast pocket of a shirt that I'm wearing now, and I don't really have much else to add to that. I don't think you'd want to add too many credit cards to this. Again, handy boarding pass or other travel documents, train tickets, etc., could go back into this slash pocket at the rear, and in keeping with its low-level lines, and of course if it is RFID protected, then that's really the goals on this. When I was contacted by a representative of Allett, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, I was asked if I wanted a choice of colors, and this is more like a navy blue. I had requested something more along the lines of a camel color or even a burgundy, just because that's what I had requested. They sent me this instead, and that's all well and fine. And for the purposes of our test and progress and this introductory opening, I think we're good to go on it, and it serves its purpose as far as giving us an idea of what the size is. Frankly, I do not know what the price point on these mules would be. Let's see. Oh, there's a little letter in here from Allett. It says, "Hello, and thank you for including Allett wallets in your holiday gift recommendations." I don't know if this is a recommendation from me, but it could be. Here is a little information about the brand to include in your feature, because again, this was I was contacted by a representative and asked if I'd be interested in doing a review or a test in progress on this. This was not, again, full disclosure, I did not pay for this device. It was sent to me free of charge and free of shipping, with the caveat that I planned to do a giveaway or pass this along to someone else to test in progress as well. So it goes on to say, Allett wallets are made in California, San Diego. Our designs are always slim, all in bold and cap, so you can pack more and carry less. Many of our wallets are RFID blocking. Allett is a family company that started in 1995. I like that, small family company. Always want to support someone who's willing to put in that effort. Our wallets are extremely durable with an average lifespan of 7 to 10 plus years. Remains to be seen, of course, but since they've been around since 1995, they probably are saying that with all good intentions. It is our mission that each Allett product enhance your everyday experience with practical design features and well thought out details. With well thought out details. A little typo, my mistake, can't help but point it out, or at least I just kind of stumbled on that. Please include a link to our website, www.allett.com, and tag us in your social posts so we can reshare at Allett Wallets. Please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. Send all photo requests to Bridget@allett.com. Warmest regards, Bridget Muscat, co-owner of Allett. So, again, good to see that that's the case. We'll go ahead and give you that Allett.com. I don't mind sharing that. We at Gear Challenge don't charge any fees for any of our test and progresses, and normally we do pay for product that we will test in progress. In other words, we do not solicit any gifts. We do not solicit free gear or free equipment. And it actually goes against the grain of Gear Challenge to do that, because we like to keep companies, we don't like taking food off of people's plates, and which definitely would go against our general theme. Okay, and this is just a packing slip for us. Other than that, no additional information about the company, but frankly, you know, they do mention that in their card slip, that it's vegetable tanned leather. And we'll try to run some type of an RFID test on this. Don't hold your breath right now, because we got a lot of other things going on. So other than that, here's to the Mule. Nice little product, and frankly, I think this would really go well with a lady. I think a lady's, you know, what do they call that? A lady's additional accessories, accessorize. This would probably accessorize in a lot of purses, especially with the proper color sequence. So, salute, and have a good one.